Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, we have an interesting article we're going to go over today. A little bit of a contradiction of numbers coming from Disney here. Not just from Disney, but from other. We'll get into it, okay? Disney Plus announced with a press release that their series, Ahsoka, drew 14 million views for its first episode this past week, making it the most streamed title on the platform.
For the week or ever? Well, I mean, it's a legit question, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Deadline says that those numbers are global views, not just U.S. views.
Makes sense.
Kathleen Kennedy even made a statement.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how important this is.
Wow, she came out of the woodwork to say something to us all.
The fact that they release these numbers at all is interesting because Disney never says what their numbers are.
No, never.
No. Even when some of the other platforms tell you what their numbers and their viewership are, Disney doesn't, and you get all the information from third party.
So there's two possibilities. One, it's actually, well, sure. But the main two, I think, are the numbers are actually really, really good and they're very proud, or they were very bad and they're trying to skew it to sound good. Because it doesn't say all time, it just says for the week, right? I mean, that doesn't mean anything, of course. I mean, if it wasn't, that would be a tragedy.
It just says most streamed title on the platform.
That doesn't mean anything. I mean, it doesn't,
there's
though.
There's a third thing they could be doing. They could be kind of inflating the numbers, making it sound better than it was to drum up more interest. If you heard the show is, massively watched, you're more likely to watch it because you think other people are talking about it.
Certainly. But my point still stands. That doesn't... To say it's the most watched show on the platform, well, it better be its first week out, right?
It really
What
should.
would have beaten it? Some people watching Secret Invasion again? I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, no, it's the She-Hulk crowd.
Certainly not people watching Willow.
But here's what Kathleen Kennedy said. Ahsoka has become a fan favorite with people of all ages, and it's wonderful to see her continue to resonate with viewers in her own headlining series. I want to recognize the fantastic work done by our creative team, led by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, the incredible cast led by Rosario Dawson, and our talented crew. And on behalf of the team and all of Lucasfilm, we give our thanks to all the fans who have been with Ahsoka on every step of her journey, and to all those who are learning about her now in Ahsoka on Disney+.
I mean, that's about as generic as it gets.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
The announcement, interesting enough, comes just a few hours after Samba TV reported, and that's one of those third parties, that they had measured Ahsoka having a 25% decline in viewership from The Mandalorian Season 3 in North America, using a sample of 3 million households.
Well,
so, yeah.
Well, both of those could be true. Because, again, the statement, or their declaration, I guess, of it being the most watched show on the platform is probably 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean it did extremely well. It just did better than everything else currently on there.
Yes.
So,
Another thing that's interesting to note is, well, the writer's strike and the actor's strike is going on right now. And one of the main fighting points is apparently the lack of data transparency in streaming. So could Disney be trying to maybe take a step in the right direction to go, here's some numbers?
The problem with these numbers is there is zero context.
True.
Tell us what the first week of Mandalorian Season 3 looked like, and all the other ones. Once you tell me that, then I can be either impressed or go, ooh, we got a problem here, right?
Yeah. Well, according to Disney Plus, a view equals the time that the episode was streamed by a user divided by the total runtime. So if you watched half an episode, it would count as 0.5 views.
Okay.
But if you watched it 3 times, it counts as 3 views. So, how did The Mandalorian perform in March? How did Andor do? Why haven't they told us about anything else? They announced that Obi-Wan Kenobi was their biggest premiere ever, but we have no idea
tell us what the numbers
how that
were
compares to Ahsoka or anything else.
No context. This doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. Because I would love to hear that Ahsoka did extremely well.
And 14 million sounds fantastic, but if you're going to tell me Kenobi did 50 million and Mando Season 3 did 80 million or,
I know what you're saying,
then hearing 14 is like, well, that's actually not super great.
That's the problem here.
So without the context of how did your other shows do in the same time period, the same premiere window, we don't know how good 14 million really sounds.
Yeah. Well, then we have this other service, Samba, telling us that it's actually bad.
That they did 25% worse than Mando Season 3 in North America.
Yeah, but of course they don't have accurate numbers. They're not getting those from Disney Plus or measuring every user. They're taking kind of averages or something along those lines.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like this might be something to try and get more people into watching the show, or maybe to try and take a step in the right direction with the strikes going on, because that needs to end. They need to find a compromise and work this out for the good of everyone, because there's so many people affected by this.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are hurting.
Right. It's more than just the writers and the actors. It's everyone who works on a set who doesn't have a job to do right now.
Yeah, even movie theaters and the person who works in the theater, the whatever. I mean, there's just...
So I'm hoping that they can come to some sort of a solution that works for them.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. But this is just it's humorous, I think, because it doesn't say anything, and yet they're trying to make it seem significant, when in reality...
It means nothing to us.
It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
Thank
other
you
than
for
we
the
have a
numbers
number.
That mean nothing.
We have a number, sure, but
they have to continue to give us numbers for us to understand.
Yes.
What their
we need
numbers
other
mean.
Numbers, otherwise it is just a number.
All
it's
the
not
numbers,
data until
please.
you have multiple sources or points of interest here, I guess.
Yes. All right, let's move on.
Some Collector's Corner.
Collector's Corner. Hasbro did their little Ahsoka stream.
Tano Tuesday. Yesterday was Tano Tuesday, but not... It was just a one-time thing, not a weekly thing.
Sad. All right, so let's start out with the Black Series. First up, we have the repacked Chopper. Yep. If you didn't get Chopper in the Rebels wave, he's back.
Yay. I mean, it's a nice figure.
Yeah.
It's going to complete your little collection out if you're in need of it.
Next, we've got Hu Yang.
He looks good.
He does. He comes with the backpack with his extra arms, because he uses those when he's making lightsabers to help grab stuff. And he's also got a little data pad and a lightsaber hilt. I don't know what those components have to do with the show yet, but...
Well, you could always put them in your Clone Wars
area, too.
You can.
That's
you
can just buy two.
But that's kind of what they're hoping, yeah.
Next, we have Ezra Bridger. Brand new. Not like the old one. He definitely looks like he's taller. He's got a new head sculpt. I'm really hoping he's not still wearing the exact same outfit when he does.
He better not. No, I think this is supposed to be the hologram image or the recording image. Wouldn't he be blue? Yes, but I think people wouldn't want him to be blue.
All right.
I mean, you could put this in with your Rebels, but then you have kind of the...
He doesn't fit in with the Rebels.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No.
He's kind of his own thing. It's kind of a... I don't know where you would even put him, because it's not going to make sense to put him... I mean, depending on how you set up your collection, you may not care, but I try to put mine kind of chronologically. Speaking of that, we got to do my collection video soon.
Someday, yeah.
So yeah, I put them chronologically, so I don't even know what to do with them, because he doesn't go with the Ahsoka.
He might. We haven't seen yet.
Well, what, did he not age? Is that a spoiler? Massive spoiler.
He looks a little older. He looks a little gaunt.
But he's wearing the same thing. He better not be wearing the same thing.
He's wearing the same thing.
Goodness gracious, he better not be.
He somehow still is. Somehow, Ezra Bridger wears the same clothes. Next figure is Morgan Elsbeth. I'm very disappointed they didn't go with the soft robes or something for her skirt piece. They did do some cut divides so that you can pose her within it, but if you pose her too long with the folds and the leg out, they might permanently kind of meld that way, so if you try and change her pose, it might just look silly.
They should have done what they did with the vintage collection version. It had this kind of this spongy looking material. It actually looked really good.
They did do a cloth.
Yeah, it was kind of cloth, but it wasn't... I don't know. You'd have to watch the live stream right though.
She doesn't come with anything, though.
Where's her Beskar spare?
There's naked in there.
Where's the Beskar spare?
No accessories. Even if she didn't have the Beskar spare, she could have had the map.
That would have been cool, too.
She could have had something.
Yeah, something.
Something, anything. Next we have HK-87, which is just a repaint of the HK-87s we already got from The Mandalorian.
You probably didn't recognize him because of the red paint job.
He gets cloth goods. and an accessory?
And a gun. Yep, he gets to hold something.
All right. And then we have our last revealed figure, the Marok.
Which is interesting because he's very rusty, which I didn't realize until now. He actually is really rusty. Look at his
character poster. He is very rusty, but the way they did it on here doesn't look
they always kind of,
They could have done better making it look like rust. He at least comes with, a cloth good.
Yeah, and a lightsaber. And something to hold.
Wow. That's amazing. And then for the Black Series pipeline reveals, we have Hammerhead.
Hey, that's derogatory.
Well... In the outtakes for this, I tried to say his name several times and couldn't say it right, so you said, just call him Hammerhead. So that's you who told me to call him that.
Call him Hammerhead.
Instead of his actual name, which once again I will refrain from poorly pronouncing. And we also have, and this is what I'm excited about, R5 and the pit droids from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-pack, because I think you get 3 pit droids.
Which is great, because I know we saw some pack at another point in time that we were upset about that only came with 1 pit droid.
Yeah,
we wanted
like
more.
The one from Disney itself.
The Disney Parks.
The Disney Parks pack has a bunch of droids.
Yeah. Disappointingly, and I'm hoping we get another announcement, another stream before they're done here. We don't have a Balon, Shin, or Thrawn.
I got to imagine there's more coming. Like, the sad thing about...
Just give me a 3-pack of them.
That would be cool, but it'd be like $150 on one.
Well, okay. Well, how much would they charge individually? If they make it the same price, I don't care. Put them all in one box for me.
It was kind of disappointing because we've seen most of these. A lot of this stuff kind of leaked out already.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think there are even on eBay, there's like an auction for some of these figures. Mm-hmm. So, not really a reveal so much. But
pre-orders start tomorrow for these.
Yeah, but they also have PulseCon in like a month, or less than a month. So, I'm assuming that may be where you get your Balin and Shin and
Thrawn?
Probably a Thrawn by that point. They're probably holding some of that back because of
Thrawn,
spoilers.
But we need another Thrawn that looks more like Lars.
Yeah, probably we'll get our Ezra adult new clothing, unless he's still rocking those same duds.
No, I hope not.
Yeah.
He's just flashback version, right?
Yeah, flashback without the blue.
And then we'll get our Moroccan.
Hey, maybe.
All right, moving on to the vintage collection. We have a Morgan Elsbeth with the cloth
cloth, yeah, it looks nice, yeah.
An HK-87 because we needed another HK-87. And a General Hera Syndulla.
Which will be VC number 300.
That's exciting.
Well, yeah, some people were kind of didn't think she earned it, despite the fact that they tried to sell it on the show or the live stream that she did.
Yeah, they should have given it to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing
Maybe
against
a
Hera.
Bigger name character
Love Hera,
just for number 300.
Yeah, but not really sure about that one.
Like a gold-plated Vader, I would have taken.
You would have loved that. That's VC 500, and I'm writing a letter to Hasbro right now to make that happen.
Also, a little update on the HasLab Ghost. They have made a statement that if they can manage to fund it to the unreasonable 17,000 tier to unlock everything, they'll also throw in Sabine and Chopper available for separate purchase.
For purchase.
Separately.
Yes.
They might as well have just added them as tiers up to the 17.
Yeah, I think you get to 7. That's the irony. I think you get to 17 if you put those two in there. If you sweeten the pot that much, but I don't...
Because then if you can... Yeah, because if they're in there, and you're like, well, now I need to just finish it off to get to Zeb, they're running out of time, and they've only made tier Ezra.
Yeah, they're not making it there. And then you're going to have people who pull out because they're like, I want all
it's not happening,
tiers.
And they pull out,
It's going to be a funny little thing to happen here in a couple of weeks, or a week and a half, I think, when it wraps up.
Yeah.
See how it finishes.
For the retro collection, and I'll go through these quickly, because I'm sorry, retro, we don't collect you. We don't collect the vintage either, but I feel like the retros might be the least collected.
I love the look of the retro ones, but...
All right. Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, General Hera Syndulla, Chopper, which I think looks cute in retro, Morgan Elsbeth, HK-87 Assassin Droid, and Marok, because they are just mass-producing Morgan Elsbeth, HK-47. Well, it's funny because vintage doesn't get a Marok, but retro does. Then for the vintage collection pipeline reveals, we're getting a live-action version of Chopper. Yep. Because apparently the vintage collection doesn't have a live-action version, or they only have a Rebels version. I don't even know.
Think they have a Rebels version.
A Jango Fett Deluxe, the Clone Wars Rex, Darth Vader from A New Hope, R2-D2, Stormtrooper from A New Hope, Luke Skywalker X-Wing, Princess Leia Organa A New Hope, HK-47, and Jedi Revan 2-pack.
A lot of those are reissues as well. They are not new figures, so don't get too excited.
So that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's Collector's Corner. Mm-hmm. Not a ton of excitement.
No, I would have liked to see some of the other figures. I wanted to see a Balon Shin.
Yeah, I feel like they did this just because they needed to do something for Ahsoka, and they're holding back the real cool stuff for PulseCon. That's my guess.
Okay.
Since that's their big thing. But anyway, for now, that's all we got for you this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. What do you think about those Ahsoka numbers? What do you make of them? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.